Then 84 was Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense. Apparently Hammer Films are back doing some plays, and did The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe. But it'll never be the same force as it once was. I've had to redo the last video again as I'd used the wrong ratio intro photograph. It was landscape and it should have been portrait. That affects mainly the videos afterwards where it's really narrow. Have you seen The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, Joe? Have you watched it full? At least 3 full versions that I know of. Daniel Boone, The Wrangler, and Newcastle. Because if you watch the first part of it, which is kind of showing this car character who's trekked all the way from China, who's obviously immortal, but he's under the Seven Golden Vampires spell, and he tracks down to Castle Dracula and meets Dracula. Obviously isn't Christopher Lee, because he's probably doing other films by then. He probably said no more Dracula, you know, you're taking it too far with the satanic rites. Even though it's only a cameo, then obviously he takes over Car's body, goes back to resurrect the Seven Golden Vampires. And it's just the bizarre scene in this temple or something, in this basement, where there's like 12 women chained down to these stone beds, writhed around and jerking like they're having electric shock treatment. With these strange masked people with swords surrounding it. I mean, I could not make head or tails of it. And then when it came to the bit where it's in present day China, and obviously Van Helsing's hosting a class, then it starts to take shape. But it's such a bizarre cocktail. Such a bizarre cocktail, it really is. Of kung fu and vampirism, but yet Newcastle After Dark say it works. It shouldn't, but it works. I still think that this is Hammer Films really clutching at straws in their dying embers, because, you know, by then they started doing on the buses and comedy films, isn't there? They stayed clear of the Dracula films that became known for. You know, they were doing like film versions of On the Buses and what's the other one? Probably Man About the House. I won't be surprised. But you can see that they stayed clear of the, but then, you know, they tried to revise with Hammer House of Horror. Then 84 was Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense. Apparently Hammer Films are back doing some plays, and did The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe. But it'll never be the same force as it once was. So let me know if you have watched it, either as part of your YouTube test, or if you just read about it. But Newcastle After Dark, despite the annoying YouTube ad breaks, give it a thumbs up. This is kind of relevant to annoying adverts, which I encountered on 2 occasions whilst watching the Newcastle After Dark version of Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, with their usually beautiful brief introduction in their waistcoats, their cigars and their pints of Guinness, and a nice little backdrop. So I will persevere with the 2/3 left of Legends of the Seven Golden Vampire. I've been informed that my front brake pads need replacing and a front windscreen wiper. So there's still a good chance that I better plough ahead with some of these rare ones, which really go beyond my usual budget. Ah, that's much better. Like looking for one of those spyglasses on a door. Yeah, so Legend of the Golden Vampires. If I'd have just gone by the first 10 minutes, I'd have said no. I definitely would have said no. I just thought it was just too far-fetched that this Chinaman, who's obviously not a vampire but a mortal, who is obviously the caretaker of the Seven Golden Vampires, has trekked all the way to Count Dracula, like he's like the divine leader of all the world's vampires. You know, like he's the big daddy, and he's trekked all the way, tricked, and Count Dracula, played by somebody who I can't, it's never not Christopher Lee, takes over and produces this medallion from one of the legend of one of the Seven Golden Vampires. And like I said, I'm guessing that Robin Stewart of Lester's House and The Haunted House of Horror, which is, you know, he's saying, well, it's a myth, it's a legend, but I believe it's true. We're not sure where this village is. Then obviously one of the students hangs back and he meets him later on, actually in the bar or restaurant. You know, it's just, I'm thinking, what the hell is this film all about? I know we see Pete Cushing at the beginning, and then obviously I didn't realise obviously it's a flashback, and then we get to this school where it's a very good Tygon film. I think it must be, is it his son? Because I thought Van Helsing had a daughter. No, that's later on, it's granddaughter. Obviously I'm getting mixed up with I think the first one, Dracula AD 72, and it's Stephanie Beacham. It's the satanic rites of Dracula that she suddenly morphs into Joanna Lumley. But it's possible, that would be, yeah, of course it would have been. Because, hang on. In Dracula AD 72, when it goes to that church, that's Stephanie Beacham's character's grandfather. So that would have been the Van Helsing of then's great grandfather. Yeah, well, it kind of makes sense in a way.